everybody. It's Kyle, recording a regular podcast for you again. I know that still haven't gotten some things done like the studio and all that, but I'm back on my regular drive. I am actually doing this on the way home, which is a little unusual. Usually I record this on Monday morning on my way in. Two things happened. Number one, I kind of forgot about it this morning on my way in. But number two, I also thought maybe it would be better if I record this in the afternoon or on the way home. I'll probably be in better spirits. So here I am. Let's see. What is bothering me? Not much. I mean, believe it or not, there's really not much bothering me. You know, I'm feeling fine right now. I will say that, there's a few things out there, but nothing that really sticks out that I can really pinpoint. So I may just skip that section entirely. Let me get on to a few things that I'm into. That's much more fun. So this weekend was my wife's last event with her leading a Girl Scout troop. And so then it was my daughter's last Girl Scout troop event as well. So I spent a little time doing some other stuff. First off, something I did was I purchased some comic bags and some boards because I wanted to start boxing stuff up. I got so many comics that were just kind of loose and floating around, and I wanted to take care of some of them. So I spent some time doing that this weekend, and actually, to be honest with you, it's very zen-like experience for me. For a lot of reasons. It's interesting. It's like I actually enjoy hand washing dishes. I know that sounds weird. I wouldn't say enjoy, but it's a moment for my mind to just settle down and focus on something else and not worry about all the other stuff going on in my life or in the world or whatever. So that's kind of one of those situations that I have. Other people have similar things to that. Mowing the lawn is pretty similar as well. A little more difficult, physically taxing and all that, but kind of similar. My mind's kind of shut down. I just do what I'm doing. This was a lot like that, quite a bit. I was pretty surprised. So it was kind of interesting to go through some of the stuff I bought over the last, 3-4 years that's kind of just loose hanging around. Came across some beauties. I came across the first 3 issues of Black Hammer. I'm not sure if any of you have read Black Hammer or not. I know a few of you have if you're listening to this. Some people I know are listening to this. But there is an author/artist named Jeff Lemire. It's Jeff, Lemire. And he's pretty amazing. He's from Canada. But he really makes some incredible stuff. And my wife had purchased me a long time ago some trade paperbacks of a comic book of his called Sweet Tooth. Kind of a post-apocalyptic, weird vision, but incredible story, and I just adore that story and adore those books. Really like his art style. Read plenty of others by him. Royal City's another popular one he did. That's very Canadian, by the way, that one. But Black Hammer is kind of the next big thing that he's done. He's done several other things as well. Descender, not sure if you read any of those. He also does Gideon Falls. I've talked about that on here before. But he's just really amazing, and I really appreciate him. So I was very excited when I was going through stuff. I didn't even know that it kind of bleeds together. I read a lot of comics digitally as well. I have subscriptions digitally that I read stuff on my Chromebook because I got a comic reader on there. And I buy stuff through Comixology and subscribe that way. The nice thing about that, the particular Chromebook I have folds into a tablet. So it's actually almost the exact size of a comic book if you have it folded and turned into portrait mode. And so it really is like reading a comic. It's kind of nice. So I wasn't sure if I had that in actual physical format or if I had it digitally. Turns out I had those first 3 issues from the first run of that book in physical form. So I was very excited to come across those. The other thing I kind of had some enjoyment packing up and putting away was I found, I knew this, but but DC Comics has started to release 100-page issues at Walmart's. And I knew this was coming, but it's very reminiscent of super specials and of large format comics that I used to read, magazine size and larger back in the day. I really loved. I don't know if you read any of those. Like I bought one a couple years ago at Comic-Con, and it was Superman versus Flash in a foot race. Pretty great. I won't give any spoilers away on that one, but it's pretty great. But there used to be a lot of goofy, weird stuff like that when I was a kid. And so when I heard these 100-page books were coming, I was pretty excited. I have the first 2 issues of the first runs. Those are Superman, there's a Batman, there's Justice League, and then the last one is Teen Titans. So I got first 1 and 2 for each of those. They're up quite a bit now. I don't even know where they are. I think there's definitely over 12, I believe. They've been around for more than a year. I also have a holiday special, which is all the DC superheroes that I got this past Christmas. And then I also got a Swamp Thing Halloween special from last year. So those are the kind of things that I just like having, man. I like holding on to stuff like that. And like I said, they're kind of fun to read through. I'm not a big DC guy, but they're kind of fun to read through. Kind of goofy stories on some of them, but they're unique and different. If you haven't picked any of those up, like I said, I think they're $5 for each issue, and it's 100 pages, so pretty good deal, really. I mean, most comics are around anywhere between $3 and $5 anyway, and they're not 100 pages. They're usually 24 or 22. Sometimes they get up to 32, but it just depends on the book. But anyway, so I was pretty excited to come across all those. Plus, I had I have 6 issues of Force Awakens, the adaptation, and I've got the first issue of Rogue One. But I don't really have any past then. I do have the solo one, but it's a digital format. That's pretty neat. I think I had the trade paperback for Force Awakens also in digital, and maybe Rogue One. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little gems in there I went through. A buddy of mine also gave me some old Mad magazines. I think number 11 is the first issue in there. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those, but that one has what's called the ugly girl on the front of it. But yeah, pretty interesting. It's kind of fallen apart, deteriorated, but still, I just bagged it up and put a board behind it and taped that shut. So hopefully it'll last a little while longer. But he gave me several of those. I put those in some magazine style and some Golden Age style bags with boards and boxed those up as well. But man, it's just kind of fun going through that stuff. All the Marvel super specials that I bought I think it was last year. I bought a bunch of them, like Jaws 2, Close Encounters, Raiders of the Lost Ark. What was that one? Not Dragonheart. Dragon Slayer. That one. Krull is another good one. I bought the Time Bandits adaptation, which actually is a regular sized comic from the early 80s. But it's the full story within there. Got that in there. But it was just kind of fun going through that stuff and kind of checking it out and, putting it somewhere where it's going to be safe and secure for the future. Because I had a lot of those when I was young. And, of course, I had to rebuy them. Actually, that reminds me, I need to go downstairs and I need to find, because I've got the giant size Star Wars 1 and Star Wars 2, which was the movie adaptation. Those 2 parts make the movie adaptation for A New Hope. Back when it was just Star Wars and not Episode 4. But yeah, I've got those downstairs. But those I actually put like stickers and shit all over the outside. But I don't know. It's still kind of cool to have them. Pass on to my kids or my grandkids someday. It's kind of neat. So that was really fun. That was something I was really into doing this weekend. And I finished most of it up yesterday on Father's Day. So that was kind of fun for me. Let's see, what else am I into? Well, anytime my wife and my daughter are gone doing something, which is probably going to be less now, whenever that happens, my son and I will watch something, pretty funny or even a scary movie. It's kind of up to him. I leave it up to him. And so he chose, I had some movies laid out, and he chose Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Tobe Hooper film. From way back, mid 70s maybe, I don't remember. It's old though. It's definitely can't be any newer than 77. I want to say it's like 76 or 75 maybe. It might be 74. But anyway, I said, okay. I kind of explained to him that, dude, this movie's pretty, it's not for the faint of heart, my friend. But, with everything he's seen, I mean, the way things are nowadays, I knew that gore-wise it really wouldn't be a problem. Probably just more of the ideas behind it and the eeriness of it and all that. So anyway, we started watching it, and, one thing that film has a lot of, the audio quality of the dialogue and stuff is not always very great. But I would say the audio of the score and the audio of like sound effects and stuff that they put in is pretty amazing. And the reason I bring this up is because that's one of the things that really bothered him about it. He said, that high-pitched squealing noise is kind of driving me crazy. It's making me uncomfortable. And I said, exactly. That's what they want. They wanted you to feel uncomfortable when you're watching this because it's an uncomfortable situation. You shouldn't be, oh, this is great, and just watching it and enjoying it. It's difficult to endure. That's kind of the idea behind it. So I think it's pretty amazing that for like 45 years later, that still kind of holds up, that idea, that ideology behind using sound to kind of, give you the heebie-jeebies. So that was interesting to watch and hear him comment on that. It also started out, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a narrator at the beginning, and a lot of people don't know who that is, but it's actually John Larroquette. He's uncredited. Yes, Dan from Night Court. But he's uncredited, but that's his voice at the very beginning reading the text that scrolls up on the screen. And the way it comes off is though this is a true story. And so when we were watching, I know it is not a true story, people, but I know that my son did not know that. So when it started rolling and it started playing, he looked at me like, is this real? And he goes, Dad, is this real? He asked me, and I go, yeah, it said it's a true story. And so I let him watch the whole film before I broke the news to him that it is not, in fact, a true story. But again, another thing they did to make you very uncomfortable. It also blows me away how back in the day they used to go, this was a true story, and it wasn't even close to true. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is loosely based on the murders from Ed Gein and several other killers from back in the day. So there's not, it has aspects of it that are true, but there wasn't a family of weirdos living out in the boonies in Texas that are cutting people up with chainsaws and making barbecue out of them. And then in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, making chili out of them. But by the way, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite movies. Definitely one. I wouldn't say it's a horror movie. I'd say it's a comedy. It's more in the vein of like Evil Dead 2 or, that type of thing, where it's gory and creepy and, But there was kind of this weird time in the 80s when, big shot horror movie guys, Tom Savini, Tobe Hooper, some of those guys would get, and they would make these horror movies that actually ended up being comedies. If you think about Evil Dead 2, and really Evil Dead 1, but definitely Evil Dead 2, they're not taking themselves seriously in that movie. They're just having fun making a crazy-ass movie. Sam Raimi, just having a blast. Same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The soundtrack is amazing. Real good group of songs by a lot of different artists that were popular at the time. Concrete Blonde, I love Concrete Blonde. They're on there. They've got a couple songs. Even Oingo Boingo has No One Lives Forever is on there. Timbuk 3 is on there. There's other groups on there that were the Cramps. There's some good songs on there. Check it out if you get a chance. Also, Dennis Hopper is in the film. So And then there's a pretty crazy ass showdown in it with chainsaws. Oh my god! Just check it out if you get the chance. It's a crazy ass movie. Just don't mess up my Sonny Bono wig, dude. Go Leatherface. It's like if you mix Smokey and the Bandit or Caddyshack with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what it's like. It's like it has no business being funny, but it is funny, definitely. So that was kind of interesting to watch with him. We also watched Spawn, the live action film from the late 90s. And boy, that movie's due for a reboot. I see they're making it actually. Jamie Foxx, sorry, not Jamie Lee Fox, that's Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Foxx and someone else. It's what's his name? Hawkeye. They're working on it, and they're trying to get a new version of it made. And man, it needs a new version, dude. The computer animation in that film is, especially when they're in hell, it is beyond bad. It makes Phantom Menace look great, which is not great. But yeah, that movie. But my son liked the idea. He liked the story. He liked the character of Spawn. He liked the idea of it. It's just, some of the effects kind of take you out of what you're watching because they're so bad. But again, I love Spawn. I always have, as long as I can remember, and so it was kind of cool to watch that with him as well. I also watched another movie that day that I'd heard about. I read an article about the top 10 low-budget zombie films that you need to see. And one of them was this Japanese film from the year 2000. It's called Versus. Now, I had seen the case for this DVD and stuff a million times in my life, but I never watched it. But they said it's really amazing. And it was shot in this forest in Japan, and it was made for $10,000. And they said it's actually, real gory and everything, but it's actually kind of a smart idea and story, and involves time travel as well. I really dug it, man. I watched it. I really liked that movie. I highly recommend it. I stopped by our local vintage stock, and I got that movie, and I got Spawn on Blu-ray. Both those movies together were less than $15. And I can tell you they're easily worth it. Definitely great entertainment for a day. So that's kind of what I'm into. Yeah, I love movies. I really want to get back into movies and watching movies and stuff like that. And, when I get this studio and stuff built out in my basement, I will do more video podcasts like I did on that last one. I don't know if anybody enjoyed that. Sorry the audio was so bad. The audio was not great on that camera. It's kind of weird. And the other thing about that camera that's kind of odd was, it was just sitting there running in 4K 30 frames a second. And about maybe every 20, 30 seconds, there would just be two black frames that popped up. And so when I was editing, it was kind of a hassle to edit because I had to go in and remove all those black frames. But it's just really weird because I shot 4K 30 frames a second when I was doing the snorkeling and underwater and stuff, and I didn't have that issue at all. So I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I had the lavalier mic that it comes with plugged in, and that was causing maybe too much data going through it at one time. I don't know, but it was really weird. So I'm not 100% excited about that camera anymore. I'm kind of bummed out, but oh well. Such is life. That's what you get. You buy a cheap action camera, you get a cheap action camera. Still a pretty nice product for the money, and the fact that you can have audio at all with it is pretty cool. So, other than that, man, not much, guys. I mean, I did win a gift card at a work event. I already used it. I bought yet another pair of Bluetooth headphones. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. But the company UmiDigi, who makes a lot of different things, I reviewed a watch for them. You may have seen that, the U Watch. If you've seen that review, that video that I did also on YouTube. Pretty nice watch for the money. I think it's a $30 watch. So they came out with some new Bluetooth headphones, and they're actually Bluetooth 5. They're supposed to be pretty great headphones, and they had them on sale for a couple days here for $19.99. The regular $30-some. So I got those. I figure I can use a pair of Bluetooth headphones at work. So that'll be pretty exciting to use for that reason. Um, I've got some great headphones already. Some nice true Bluetooth wireless headphones made by Zolo. Some Liberty Pluses that I helped kickstart. I love those. So I don't really need any, and I've also got the Parrot Zeeks. I love those over-the-ear Bluetooth headphones. But these will be good for work, so I'm pretty excited about that. I also picked up a case for my phone. Pretty cheap. If you go to AliExpress, man, it takes a while for it to get to you, but the prices are unbeatable. And I doubt I will ever buy a phone like at a phone store here in the United States again, unless they start carrying some of these Chinese models. I'm just not interested in them. So but that's about it, guys. I really can't think anything else to say. I will say it's kind of funny. My son had his first date yesterday. I was pretty excited. Not really date, but he went with a female to the movies. I was pretty excited about that. They went and saw Men in Black International, and he really loved it. So that was cool. I'm happy they had a good time and all that stuff. So that's pretty neat. He also is becoming a star rank scout tonight. So just 2 ranks after this, and he'll be an Eagle. That's pretty exciting as well. And it also puts him up for Mikase when he goes down to Boy Scout camp here in a couple weeks. So that's pretty neat as well. And then my daughter goes to BSA camp about a month and 2 weeks after that. So that's pretty cool as well. That's about it, guys. Not much else to say. That's kind of what's going on. I'm going to just keep recording these this way. I mean, I'm going to get that done downstairs. I just don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to record as I can the way I'm recording. We'll see how it goes. But until the next episode, I guess all I really want to say to you is get off my lawn.